Flowing rivers. World rivers reminds you that unaltered waterways help biodiversity, flood control, economies, and more. The millions of miles of rivers and streams that flow across our planet might appear to be a near infinite source of fresh water, but rivers, streams, lakes, and ponds together make up only 0.007% of the fresh water on Earth. The rest is in ice caps, glaciers, and groundwater, and many are severely threatened by pollution, dams, and diversions, like human-created ills that reduce how well those bodies of water can help sustain people and other species. So in many parts of the world, rivers and streams are so polluted they can no longer support aquatic life and are poisoning residents. In Africa, Australia, Russia, and South America, diversions of major waterways for agriculture and other uses have altered seasonal flooding of basins to an extent that's affecting centuries-old wildlife migrations and causing changes in the climate. A study published in the journal Nature in 2019 determined that only 37% of rivers, more than 1,000 kilometers long, remain free-flowing over their entire length, and only 23% flow uninterrupted to the ocean. In the United States, dams have cut off ancient spawning routes, driving alarming declines in some salmon populations and affecting entire ecosystems that rely on those species. Fortunately, it's not too late to reverse these trends. If policymakers around the world recognize the immense value of healthy and free-flowing rivers and act quickly and ambitiously to protect them to celebrate World Rivers Day, here are 8 benefits of safeguarding rivers. The first benefit that we get from rivers is that they protect sources of clean drinking water. The condition of rivers directly affects the quality of drinking water they provide. Water from clean, healthy rivers requires less filtration than water from polluted rivers. The second one, that they preserve cultures and traditions. So since the dawn of civilization, rivers have played critical central roles in cultural history and trading routes, ceremonial sites, and the heart of human settlements. The third one, rivers conserve reservoirs of wildlife and biodiversity. So the land that borders rivers is called riparian areas. They're some of the most diverse, dynamic, and complex habitats on Earth. Rivers account for only a fraction of Earth's fresh water mentioned, but they support a disproportionately large amount of biodiversity. For example, freshwater invertebrates, according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, 140,000 described species, including 55% of all fishes, rely on freshwater habitats for their survival. Okay. Also, rivers bolster the recreational economy. So there are a lot of recreational and tourist activities on rivers, and they teach people how to use boats and kayak. They help limit and control flooding. That's number 5. River channels, canyons, and floodplains formed over eons to accommodate changes in water levels. Altering river flows, for example, through the constructions of dams or culverts, disrupts those natural controls, disconnects river from critical floodplains, and often put communities at higher risk for catastrophic flood damage. So rivers help with drainage. They also, number 6, help transfer nutrients. So rivers serve as one of nature's primary transportation systems, carrying nutrients, minerals, and fine sediments to the ocean, often from alpine, which are mountains, environments hundreds of miles away, and facilitating the transfer of other nutrients back upstream through migrating species such as salmon. So free-flowing waterways within unaltered connected river systems shuttle sediment to floodplains, providing critical habitats and food for wildlife and plants. Sediment that collects in river deltas often create natural buffers to help protect coastal areas from sea level rise. The mouths of free-flowing rivers harbor an extremely rich biodiversity of birds, marine mammals, fish, and other marine species. The nutrients can transfer and drive entire industries such as the prawn, shrimp, and barramundi fisheries off Australia's northern coast. Rivers help fight climate change because they deal with flooding, and they preserve a sustainable source of food. Rivers feed people, fish, freshwater snails, mussels, crayfish, and more across the world. Many indigenous and local communities rely on healthy rivers as their supermarkets. Studies have shown that more than half the protein consumed in many indigenous communities in northern Australia and river basins comes directly from fishing in rivers and hunting on the floodplains they nourish. All right, by working to protect and restoring and restore free flowing rivers around the world, policymakers can show their commitment to healthy and sustainable future, their constituents, and all life on Earth.